this is Noreen from Joy Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! Hey, for more of my card videos, click the subscribe and the little bell, and my videos will pop up when they release. So anyway, so we're going to do Love for You Stamp and Die Bundle, and it's in the new mini catalog. It's on page 11. Now, I chose not to get the full suite. I just kind of wasn't into this, but it does come with this other one. It's the Country Bouquet bundle, but I did get like the ribbons. Now this real red ribbon is kind of like the same one they use over and over again, so hold on to this. So if you're one to get rid of your retired stuff like I do, I'm gonna hold on to this one. And then they've got this burlap one here, so I did get that. I didn't get the sequins. I'm not really into sequins. I'd rather use the rhinestones or whatever, but I did get the gingham paper here. I didn't get this one here because I just like this more, and I really loved this set because of the dies. The dies will cut all these words out, and I always get dies that cut out words. It's like so useful for everything. So we're going to be doing this set. But before we do the card, I like to go over how this all puts together first, because I mean that's the whole point of tutorials, right? So the first thing I do is I stamp everything out. Now I know that you see it here, but I like to know how everything stamps. Now the solid words, they stamp okay. If you want them a little more solid than this, then use your Stamparatus. So, but they stamp out pretty well. The flowers aren't as hard as you would think they are. Basically they're lined up on the box. So the big one, these two go together. So I've got those there. Here's the smaller ones, they're there. This little thing is for the middle. And then you've got the leaves, and here's how they stamp out, and you've got two hearts. Now, they do layer, and here's how they layer. So you take the two big ones here, and you layer them up, and there's that parakeet party right here in the middle. Here's the two smaller ones. Here's the flower here. And then the leaves, these two here make this one, this one, this one, make that one. And even the heart layers. So you can take the big and the small and layer it up like that. Now let's get to the dies. And here are the dies. Now I put my dies on a magnet. This will make sure that they don't like fall out of the envelope or whatever. So I take the envelope, I flop it over, I hold it down with packing tape. I put them all on the magnet. I do label mine on the front because I'm a demonstrator and I like to know part numbers, and they fit in here really nicely. Now I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you go to the description of my video and pull down the little arrow or show more or whatever, you'll see everything that I use in this video, from anything that's not Stampin' Up, like my glass here, these magnets, folders that I hold paper in, they're all there. And if you click on my Amazon list, because I am an affiliate and my links are safe, I'll get credit if you buy anything, but even more so if you click on the link and you don't buy it, I still get credit for anything you order on Amazon for the next 24 hours. It helps small businesses when you do that, and it takes money away from Jeff Bezos because, you know, he's evil. But anyway, so here's how everything cuts out. So you've got, let me just show you these dies because they're awesome. This is why I bought this set. So for the words, you've got these two dies, and here's how they cut out. Now you've got another set for 4U. It's basically the same, so you can cut them out individually like that. Also the words, I love when they're skinny words like this. They're just so useful, and love is one of those words, and that's like super useful. And then the backgrounds for the flowers and the leaves. Now it doesn't end with that, because you can layer these really, I mean, super awesome. So you can make a frame. So here I've got the background that's black here, and then there's this red frame. And how you do that is you take the two here and you put them on your plate. Now hold it down with a piece of tape. Now I love the delicate frog tape, the yellow delicate frog tape. It is on my Amazon affiliate link, so you can order this and it magically shows up at your door, right? And this stuff will last literally forever. I use it over and over and over again because you can use it many times over. See, I even have a little piece stuck on my table. It doesn't rip, paper as badly as some other ones do. I mean, it is tape, so be careful. And it's awesome. It's cheap. It's available. It's awesome. But you got to hold these down and then cut them together like this, and they'll make this frame. So that's really cool. So I did that with the shadow. I made the frame, and then I cut the letters, of course, and put them inside. Or you can just do the frame and the letters and not have the background like I did on these two. Or you can use the background and the letters. So, I mean, there's 3 different ways of doing this just off the top of my head. Now, the shadows for the flowers, I mean, I guess you can use it and put that little, I didn't stamp the little thing in the middle, but maybe, I don't think it's really meant for that, but you can kind of get away with it. The leaves you can kind of get away with too here, even though I don't think they're supposed to do it, but I mean, they kind of work, so it's all right. Now, there's also stamping, so you can take that shadow and stamp it. You can make a frame or stamp it and then put the frame over it like I did these two. Or for the For You, because it's 2 separate ones here, you can stamp it and then cut it out here and do the same thing for So Much Love. Also, here's how the flowers line up, because you've got the cut flower and then the petals here and then the heart. So these are a really great way to have different options for this set. So I wanted to show you that because, in fact, with a lot of these sets, I like to do a little tutorial before we do the card, because I can make literally a million cards out of just these ideas, but who has time to make a million cards, right? So now I've got this little basic card that it's really cute. Now I did supplement it with basic borders, so if you have basic borders, it's great. And of course I did buy the gingham paper, which is really pretty. So here's the paper. It's quite, I mean, it's very, very useful. And I keep it in my little folder like this. I have folders for 12 by 12s and I have folders for 6 by 6s. They're also on my Amazon link. So there's 2 ways to shop when you pull up the description of my video. There's the Amazon stuff, so anything that's not Stampin' Up, if it's in my video, it's probably on that list. And then, of course, Stampin' Up, you can click the little links and it goes straight to my direct Stampin' Up site. So there's 2 ways to shop. And there's also my joyacards.com. There's a shop button there that can either take you to my Stampin' Up direct, or I've got a bunch of retired products on there. You can shop Joy of Cards and shop retireds and even buy cards. So anyway, this little card is just really super cute, and let's go ahead and do this. So to make this card, we're going to kind of do an A6. Now this paper that we've got here is a 6 by 6, and an A6 card is actually 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. And I wanted the DS paper to go all the way up to the top, so I cut a little short. So instead of doing a 9 by 6 1/4 cut and then score in the middle, I did a 9 by 6, so I could reach it all the way up without having a border like I've got here on the side. So this is a 9 by 6 score at 4 1/2, and this is of course Highland Heather. And then I'm gonna take that gingham paper and I cut it 4 1/4 by 6. And let's go ahead and do part of the inside. And I say part of the inside because we are going to do something from the front and put it on the inside of the card here. So we're using all of our little pieces. So I've got that. And then what I also did in the middle here is I took this piece all the way up, and this is a 3 1/4 by 6. Now all the dimensions of all my cards and all my videos is in the description of the video. So go to the title of my video, click on that little down or show more, whatever device you're on, and I'll bring up all the dimensions. So you don't have to sit there and frantically write down as I talk. You can go to the description there. And while you're at it, shop. Take money for from Jeff Bezos. Even if you don't buy anything, you're taking away money from Jeff Bezos, and that's always a good thing. So what I did here is I also took those heart stamps and I layered them in polished pink and Highland heather, and I thought it made a really cute little difference here. Now, if you notice on this part, I put some edging here, but that goes on the front, and let's do the front. So I've got another piece just like the one on the inside. This is cut 4 1/4 by 6. So we're going to snail this up to the middle front of the card. And like I said, I wanted it to go all the way up to the top because I just kind of like the way that looks. So there's the one piece. Now the top piece I'm supplementing with basic border dies, and I'm taking this one because it's such, you know, I know there's words and there's flowers, but it's really quite a basic kind of set, even though you're doing some really cool thing with the letters here. It just needed a little something something. So I'm taking this one here. Now this is also cut 4 1/4 by 6, but we're going to do something here. We're going to take this die, which is just shy of 6, and here I'm going to take my lovely and this lovely bottom plate, and I'm going to take a piece of that delicate frog tape. I'm telling you, this stuff will last forever. It's cheap, it's everywhere. You can give a little money back to a small business. Go to my Amazon link and click on it, and you can order it there, and that'd be awesome. Anyway, so I'm going to take this die and I'm going to put the edge of it right up against the edge of the paper, not over it, just to the top, because when you cut a die, there's a little tiny bit of space in between here. So I'm just going to touch the top, and the ends should be right at the end. So put it all the way up here, and take your delicate frog tape, and also just kind of make it angled on your plate here. It's easier to die cut. And I've got everything here, and I'm going to tape this down, and I'm going to cut it out. So when you take the die off, you're going to notice there's just a little, the die was just a little short for this piece. So just take your scissors and snip off the little piece that's holding it on here. And just like that. Now keep this piece, we're going to use it on the inside, so that's cool. So I'm going to take the other side and do the same thing. I'm going to line it up on my plate here and tack it down with that tape and cut it out. So I also wanted to show you, once I take that tape, that delicate frog tape off my die, it doesn't leave as much residue either from other tapes. It also doesn't move. Like there's a new kind of tape out that they changed the formula and now it's worthless. But yeah, it doesn't leave as much residue on your dies, but when you take tape off, make sure there's no residue, because that residue will transfer to your plates and make your plates all icky. So take your tape off, make sure it's clean. And now, just like the other side, we're going to take and we're going to clip off that little teeny tiny spot here where it doesn't quite get all the way over. So I'm just going to go ahead and snail this on, and of course put it in the middle. Remember to save those pieces, because what we're going to do now is take our silicone craft sheet, and we're going to snail both of the pieces that you just cut, and we're going to affix them to the inside, because I mean, why waste it? And it made kind of a cool little design here. I mean, it's cool without it, but this just kind of gives it a little extra, and not throwing anything away. So I'm gonna put these on the inside, and I'll be right back. And that's what it looks like. Now, I never put sentiments inside my cards because I do cards in advance. I don't know who I'm going to give them to, so I kind of leave that blank. So if you're doing cards ahead of time, just leave them blank. You can stamp them later. So now let's finish up the front. Now let's get to stamping. So I'm going to stamp out So Much Love for You. And this is a big stamp. It's that photopolymer stamp. So it stamps okay. This one's better than some of them. If you like it a little darker, like I said, use your Stamparatus, and I'm going to give this a little room here for the die. and I'm going to stamp it out. Now, usually you do need a stamping pad to get a really good stamp, but my glass does really well, so I don't necessarily have to do that. So there's so much love. And let's do the For You, and I am using Highland Heather. So I'm going to stamp this one out. I'm going to give it a little room for the die. And now we got our 2 letters. So to just get the letters out like what I did, I'm going to take this die here and I'm going to line it up. I've got my plate out. I'm going to line this up and I'm going to tape it down and die cut it, and I'm going to do the same thing for You. Now here's all my letters cut out. So it's on my silicone craft sheet, so I can stand right on top of that. Keeps my glass clean. So these craft sheets are amazing. If you don't have one, go to the description of my video and click on that link. It'll take you directly to me, so I get credit, and you can get one because they're amazing. You can like put glue on it, you can mix inks on it, you can do some of the mirroring stamping on it. It's like got 101 uses. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want it, the letters, and we can always, since I'm using this Tombow tape, we can always pull it up and reposition it. So there's the letters. Now let's do the flowers. So the flowers, I'm going to use the smaller ones and the little doohickey in the middle. And originally I was planning on putting leaves in here, but I thought it made it look too cluttered. And this is evening evergreen and soft succulent. You see, I cut them all out and everything, and it's like, I mean, you can do it if you want to. See, I just think it looked too cluttered. It looked pretty this way, so that's just a personal choice. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the background in polished pink and the layer in Highland Heather, and the middle is Parakeet Party. So generally you want to stamp the lighter one on the bottom, but sometimes it, sometimes it looks okay the other way around, depending on how dark the background one is. Really kind of depends. And so polished pink here, I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess there are only 5. I thought there were 6. So we're going to do 5 in polished pink, and then we're going to take our Highland Heather. And this really does layer quite nicely. There's not too much guesswork in it, even though I'm not proving my point very well by flipping this around, but let's see. Just like that. They're really cute. So go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and layer all these, and I'll be right back. Now I'm going to take the middle part of the flower, which is right here. There's a flatter side to it, which goes in the flatter part of that opening. So there is a right and a wrong, or an upside down, or whatever. So I'm just going to do these 5 in the Parakeet Party, and just like so. Now take the background die, line it up, and use your delicate frog tape and cut them out. And then now that they're all cut, I'm going to just snail them. I thought about putting them on dimensionals, and depending on whether or not you're going to hand deliver a card or put it in the mail. If you put it in the mail, a lot of thick cards, I learned this when I was doing my Christmas cards this year, a thick card will cost like 87 cents in postage, something weird like that. So if you're going to put it in the mail and you don't want to spend the extra postage, then make them flat. Don't put dimensionals on them. And then I thought this was a little plain, so I just put some pastel pearls on them in the purple. Let's see. Now I'm going to reposition this one. That's what I like about this Tombow stuff, is I can reposition it. And I'm going to put 6 of them on here, and just in, spots in the middle and on the end, and that's the card. So now you know what the dies do, and you know how to make a simple, cute card with using the stuff, and that will do it for me. So I will see you again. Bye.